Hello, I'm Tanya from Teach English Online. Some of you may know me from English Challenges, and I'm so excited you're here for part 5 of our 5-part series of how to teach English online. So maybe you already teach online, but you're looking for new options, or you're considering going online, which I highly recommend. So in the first 4 videos, we talked about options where it's the direct trade-off of time for money. And by that, I mean you show up and you teach a class. So for this part, we're talking about passive income. And the reason I use air quotes is because I want to make sure that you don't think passive means easy. It's a lot of work. But the cool part is if you travel, if you're busy with other things, whether it's family or other projects, it's more flexible. You don't have to be there and teach at that moment. You create your course, you put it out there, you market it. But the flexibility that it provides is pretty cool, whether that's your main business model or you're using it as supplemental income with teaching early, for example, or a different job. Now, for this video, I'm going to use 2 examples, Udemy and Teachable. And not because they're the best, but because those are the ones that I've used, and I think they're the best. However, if you use other platforms, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for new places to host my courses, and I love hearing what you already do. Also, I only like to talk about things I've actually done and used because I want to be transparent. Okay, so Udemy and Teachable. Let's see. If you are, I feel like it's choose your own adventure. If you do not have a social media following, if you don't have a base to market to, if you have no idea how to do online marketing, I would say Udemy is your best choice. The reason is they have millions of people on that platform, and Udemy will promote you in-house. Now, that sounds lovely, but there is a little bit of a catch. Currently, Udemy's model is about accessibility, and they tend to offer most, if not all, courses at a discount for $10 more often than not. So that's cool if you have like smaller things, but let's say you have a course and you're like, okay, this is a $200 course. I'm really proud of it. It's really comprehensive. It's awesome. I'm amazing. And you put it on the platform, you want to be ready emotionally and financially that you're probably only going to sell it for $10. And in addition to that, so the way they work currently is that if someone buys it through them, so through Udemy's promotion, then you only keep, I think, of the $10, for example, you would only keep $3 or $5. So you might be making $3 on a $200 course. Before you get really angry and dismissive, remember that the person that bought that is probably not someone that you would have reached on your own anyway. So it's money that you weren't going to make. Why not, right? Now, the other thing is, if someone buys the course through your personal link, so if you send someone the link, if you have an email list or you do have social media, then you get to keep, I don't know if it's 100% or 90 or 70, check the details, it changes. But you get to keep a bigger chunk. So you might not sell it. I know it sounds like, okay, it's not $200, Tanya, it's only $10. But again, this puts you in front of people that you probably weren't going to reach anyway. So one way to think of it is, why not make some money? Now, if you're doing kind of mini courses, this is even better. You can price it at $50, for example. It sells for $10. You make 3 or 5, but with enough volume, this could add a few $100s a month. So think about it. If this is your supplemental income, you make good money teaching, or you have a different job, or you teach online like hourly, and then a few extra $100 a month. Not bad, right? Not too shabby. Remember, the great thing about teaching and teaching online is we can dispel this stereotype that we're the humble teachers who are noble and do this for only love of teaching. Why can't we make money? We're smart, we're educators. I think it should be one of the most valuable professions out there. So it's kind of on our own, but the good thing is we have the tools and the resources. So now that you know the pro of Udemy and the cons, Teachable is totally different. So I only have used their free version because they have paid tiers. So the cool thing about Teachable is, number one, and this is something you can do now, watch their webinars. They provide amazing free webinars like all the time. I watched their webinars for like a year before I finally bit the bullet because there's some other issues with selling things online, but it really preps you for what you're going to need to do and the potential that there is in it. So they're really motivational and they give you lots of examples. Now, Teachable, they don't promote you at all. So the bad side is they don't promote you, but the good side is they also have no control over your prices. So if you make that $200 course and you post it on Teachable and you promote it yourself, then it's going to sell for $200. If you don't know anyone who would buy your products, doesn't matter, does it? You can price it at 200 or 1,000. You're not making any money. So this is where maybe on Udemy, that could be a pro. Now, if you do have an audience, and remember, you don't have to have 100,000 followers. Even if you only have 20 or 50 followers, but they're the right followers that would actually buy your products, then great. So this can also help you be more strategic. For example, I have thousands of followers on Instagram, but they're there for free content. And it didn't really translate currently at my marketing skills. It didn't really translate to thousands and thousands of sales. So it's not about the numbers. It's about who is that number. So that's a little motivation in case you're thinking, maybe social media. Okay, the other thing you could consider is if you have a big course that you've done or you're planning to make, maybe strategically divide it into, let's say, 5 sections. And then each section has to, of course, have value in and of itself. Sell that as 5 separate courses on Udemy. This allows you to kind of work out the kinks. You can maybe test out certain features or certain content. And you can also sell it in its complete form for $200 on Teachable. So this also helps you increase your presence and brand and maybe get yourself in front of more people using Udemy. And then you piece it together and sell it on Teachable. So this could really be a wonderful way to increase your income and impact by doing this kind of other way. Now, remember, these are not the only 2 that there are. There are lots of other platforms. Just make sure you check. Do you have to pay before you post something? Do you have to pay for hosting your content on there? What are the stipulations? Like with Udemy, it sounds really great. And then you find out about the discounted prices, and that might be a little bit of a turnoff. But if you know things up front, it can help you plan accordingly. Okay, again, if you haven't done so already, let me know in the comments, what are platforms that you've heard of or that you've used? And what are some of your blocks? So it took me a year before I worked up the courage to put a course online. Wasn't my best course ever, but I did it, and it kind of broke through that barrier, because I'm telling you, if you're at all susceptible to imposter syndrome, it will wave its flag in front of your face as soon as you think about posting a course. Because for me anyway, I'm very experienced, I'm very confident in my teaching, but all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, what if my course isn't good enough? I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a totally different way of presenting your knowledge. And unfortunately, it took me a long time to just do it. And the few regrets that I have, that's one of them. I wish I would have started earlier, because why not? And every course gets better than the last. Some courses have sold, some have sold none. And that can be a little blow to your ego, but instead take it as learn and grow, right? Same thing you would tell your students. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Try it out. The worst that can happen is you get bad reviews. And honestly, you're going to get those anyway, because it's the internet. Oh, one more thing. Some give you options of giving away courses for free. I would caution you against this. If anything, offer your course at a special discount, because it has been my experience, and it's also been the experience of a lot of people that I've talked to in the education field online, that when you give things away for free, those end up being your harshest critic. They're incredibly demanding and ungrateful. Not everyone, of course. You're going to have some people who are like, thank you so much. But try it yourself, because even when I've downloaded courses for free, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But then I don't do them. So the other thing about giving away your stuff, your content and your courses for free, is that people are excited to get it, but then either they don't do it because, well, they didn't pay for it, so there's less of pressure, or they end up being kind of nasty about it, or overly critical, and you see these negative reviews and you're like, I gave this to you for free out of the kindness of my heart, and you're going to rip me apart knowing that it's better. So brace yourself emotionally. You probably will get a negative review at some point. You're going to want to say something. You're going to feel angry, but think about all of the other people that you've benefited and focus on the positive. So negative review is an opportunity for you to either improve your content or learn when to grow a tough skin and put things away. Some people just feel really comfortable being nasty online. That being said, it's so worth it. Don't let the potential for trolls keep you from making money. This could be a really great way to supplement your income, a few $100s maybe, or be your main source. I know people who this is all they do. They make courses and they totally thrive. So figure it out, do it. Don't worry. It'll feel a little complicated at first. It's a little annoying. I'm tech savvy, and even I had some trouble with like figuring out the layout and how to input things. If I can do it, you can do it. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me or just go on YouTube. There are so many free videos about how to post courses on different platforms. I used like all of them. I was like, okay, how do I submit this? What title should I use? What should my content look like? So don't be afraid to seek out the information that you need and make a course. So personally, I think everyone should make a course in addition to teaching online, like the one-on-one. Let me know if you feel the same way. And let me know again, if you haven't sold a course or created a course, what's holding you back? Maybe it's something that I can help you with. All right, if you haven't seen the other 4 videos, check them out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.